Folks, welcome to the City League Sports Show. I don't even know how many seasons we've done. And I say that honestly, but I think we're on season 3. It might be season 2.5. I don't remember what it is, but I got an exciting piece here today for all of our viewers, listeners. We're in now what I'm calling the Legacy Lounge.
Yeah, I like
Legacy Lounge, right? You get to, so now when you're in studio, you're in the Legacy Lounge. And today we got some of the finest to start off this season with us. We got the Northland Vikings football team. I'm joined here today by head coach Sayers. We got Tyreek Lewis in the house.
Yes, sir.
We got Malakai. He said to me earlier I was going to get it wrong, and I got it wrong. Malakai Hammond.
Yes, sir.
Both seniors, class of 25 guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Coach, we'll start with you, and then we'll bounce over to your senior. Say hello to everybody. Say what's up, man. Say who you are.
How's it going, man? Coach Sayers, head football coach at Northland. Woo! One of my spot, man. Bleed the green and gold. We love it there. We've turned it to the land. These guys been with me for 4 years. So
we're going to get into that.
That's why I'm happy to have these guys by my side. I feel like they've been through it with me through the tough times, right?
Yeah.
The shine, the dark.
We're gonna stop you right there because I don't want you to give too much of your thunder.
Yes, indeed. I like having that.
Yes, indeed. So Coach Sayers in the house, sir. And then we're gonna go over here. Tyreek, say hello to everybody. Say what's up. Say your name and go from there.
What's up? I'm Tyreek Lewis. I'm a DN, and I'm just happy to be here.
We're gonna get Tyreek to loosen up a little bit, everybody. So he started off. He's got so for listeners, this young man's got a great smile. But we got to get him to talk a little bit, right? Now, the reason why I say this young man for last is because as we were sitting here today, and you'll hear it on your own, everybody. You don't got to turn your radio up. He's talking normal. Go ahead and say hello to everybody, Malakai.
Hey, what up, everybody? My name is Malakai Hammond, the captain of the Northland High School football team. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, look, I love this young man's voice. Yep. We're going to have a lot of fun here. Somebody, I don't know, who's a choir teacher at Northland? Either one of you know?
Miss Smith. Miss Smith.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yep.
Miss Smith. You got to trickle in there one day, like, after the season's over, man, and let her give you a lesson. Before you know, man, she'll have you featured out there on the choir. You got that old baritone voice, man. You be out there rocking and rolling. But we're talking football today, right?
Yes, sir.
The land coach, we're going to start with you. So I read it when I was looking over production notes. You're a Youngstown guy.
Oh, yeah.
Ohio Dominican University brings you here to Central Ohio.
Yep.
Now, I want to start for a moment. I'm going to go back into the vault a little bit before we get to the land. You were a high school football player too, man. You played in college. So give everybody a little bit of taste and flavor of your background, man.
It seems like they were so close, but now it's far. This is my 10-year reunion now.
Oh, wow.
We got that in December, but
10-year college, 10-year high school.
10-year high school.
10-year high school.
And I'm only 28, so it was. I went to Austintown Fitch High School back in Youngstown, and then I came to Ohio Dominican. But I played DN with Tyreek played, which was great. In high school, I was fortunate enough to be on a really good football team. We were 12-1 my senior year. Lost to St. Ed's 28-0 in the third round of the playoffs.
Yeah. So you were a game away from the Final Four.
Yes. Yep. And we, St. Ed's was a different breed back then. 100%. But hey, it is what it is. But I was fortunate to be the team captain there, get first team All-State, all kinds of different honors. But that's in the past. And then I went to Ohio Dominican. And like I tell these guys, I thought I was going to go in there and start, but I got a rude awakening to find out that Division II football
100%.
Is real football.
Division II sports all across the country. I think a lot of times people don't understand. They hear Division II and their mind says lesser skill.
Yep.
And that's not the case
at all.
Not the case at all. And I'm talking about basketball, football, whatever. Yep. You stumble across, and I got a similar story.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll share today depending on the time, but I ran into some guys basketball, came home one summer after playing Division I, and they say, hey, man, we're going to put you in this league. Man, it's just a bunch of D2 guys.
Yep.
And I got out there, I was like, these ain't these dudes can start for us right now. Yep. You know what I mean? So I certainly understand that energy. Yeah.
And that's what I try to explain to them. Like, man, it's real football. No matter where it is, if it has NCAA on the field, you're blessed and you get a fortunate opportunity to go continue 100%. Your career. And so I went there. I didn't start until my junior year.
Okay.
I was on travel my sophomore year, and I only played 4 years there. I didn't take my fifth year. I was ready to get into teaching. I was ready to get to coaching.
Yeah.
I'd been playing football since I was 6. So, I was kind of like, all right,
ready
I'm good. I'm ready to hang these cleats.
bit.
I'm not going to the league. You see how short I am. So I was like, it's over. And then, I was blessed, man, with my first opportunity in coaching. I got right out of college and got hired at Pick North as, I did strength conditioning. I did the D-line there. And it was super fun. Hillerich was awesome to give me that opportunity, man. I got to coach guys out of college that were dudes, right? Jack Sawyer, you guys get to watch him.
Yeah, and I'll pause you there because I know that guy.
Yeah.
Right? So we go back. We used to play a little summer basketball. So I know Nate and his brother and all those guys, man. And we'll pause there for you, Coach, because I got a lot. We'll circle back to it.
Nah, for sure.
And I think that, though, as you spoke to coaching, and Jack is having a phenomenal season, and he's a good kid from my interactions that I've had with him. That's the beauty of coaching.
Yep.
Because just like, you run into a Jack Sawyer maybe from a Pickerington example, but then, here in our league, you run into a Trey Burke or a Jared Sullinger or, a Malik Harrison, who's also right now, Malik was an OSU guy and he's playing in the NFL. And so you have those experiences as a coach. I'm going to bounce over here because we're going to get to Malakai in a moment, but I want to go Tyreek. Tyreek, you're a West Coast guy.
Yes, sir.
You start off, you're from Arizona.
Yes, sir.
Right? Is that correct?
Tucson, Arizona.
Tucson, Arizona. So before we even get into life at the land, Ohio and all this type of stuff, who do you hold? Do you have any allegiances in your professional or collegiate sports? Because I just want to get that out. I just need to know who you root for. You rooting for anybody? Do you root for the Cardinals? Do you root for the Cardinals?
No, I'm a Kansas type of guy.
Kansas, you're Kansas. Okay, so you rolling with the team that's winning.
He's a bandwagon fan. He's never liked Kansas City before.
Do you?
I've always liked
name me the and put him on the spot, Coach. Who was the quarterback before Patrick Mahomes?
Man. I don't even.
See,
don't even know.
I got you on that one.
I only like Kansas because Patrick Mahomes went there. I'll follow him.
Okay.
I'll follow him through college.
But now you got it. So if you're a true fan, whenever he's done, you have to stick with him, right? So if I have you on the show here 10 years from now and Patrick Mahomes has retired, I want to still hear you screaming that Kansas City stuff.
I got you.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
That's fair. So let's talk about the land. So you grow up in Arizona, you get to Ohio, and then you wake up. You're a freshman at Northland High School. Were you already a football kid?
Yes, sir.
Who were you playing for here in Central Ohio?
In Central Ohio.
Youth football.
Youth football. I played for the Falcons.
Oh, okay.
And it was pretty fun.
Is that a Northside group, Coach?
Yep.
Northside group. Okay. Northside group.
Yeah.
So you walk in. Did you know you were going to play football as a freshman?
No.
Well, then come on, tell me about it. You got to give me more than no. Like how does it start? How does this start, Tyreek? How do you end up as being a part of, so you're coach's second year, right? You're a freshman.
All right.
How do you end up being a part of the Vikings? How does the land become a part of your green and gold, legacy, what you're doing? You're sitting here today. Coach thinks highly of you if you're sitting here today.
Yes, sir. I feel like my reason for starting football and playing at the land, my mom really influenced it. She was like, "Why not try it?"
Who was it?
My mother.
Your mother, okay.
And
all right.
She
say mom's name. We give shout outs.
Sierra.
Okay, Sierra who? Come on.
Sierra Lewis.
Mom, you on the spot out here, Sierra Lewis. Come on, family. If you know her, tag her. Let mom know she got some love out here from son. Okay, so mom is the one that said to you, let's get it, right?
Yes, sir.
Come on, you got to give us a little bit more. I need to know. So mom says, go ahead and get it. Then what happens?
Then I go to practice. I came late because I started late because I didn't know when it started. And from that, I just fell more in love with football after COVID and everything. I wasn't able to play football, so I just started to lose the love for it. And then when I started working out and I was introduced to Coach Sayers and the whole team.
He's contagious, isn't he?
Yeah.
I know he's smiling. He's contagious, man. This guy, he brings a lot of good energy. Every time I've spoken to him, that's the energy he brings. Yeah.
I spoke to him and he encouraged me, but when I talked to him, he was in Florida enjoying his week. I was mad, but
you spoke to him over the phone the first time.
Yes,
your
sir.
first conversation is over the phone?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Tell me about that, Coach. How does that play out?
I love when kids call me to want to play football.
Yeah,
right.
okay.
That's the number one thing. My second year, we're trying to get the numbers up. I get to talk to Tyreek. I forget who connected us.
I think it was Bulls.
Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
Bowles, because he got the
athletic
number,
director.
so I get the phone number. Good-looking kid, and then so we're like, okay, hey, we definitely wanted to talk to him. So talked to him, called him. Me and his mom have talked a lot, right? Like me and his mom, he's also one of my students in school, so I get to engage with mom a lot, and a lot of outside stuff that Tyreek's been through in his life,
right?
Which has been wild things, and then I've been able to be a part of Tyreek's journey. Like now, I don't think of just football wise, right? Like we've been through kind of a journey together, like working through things on the outside piece, right?
100%.
Like it's 90% of my job, right? Like I love coaching football, but that's 10% of what we do.
People don't understand the difference in being a head coach and being an assistant coach.
Yes.
And I share that with people all the time, that the head coach does so many other things.
Yep.
You wear so many other hats, right? I have said for years on this show, I've said publicly when I'm out places, I would put our coaches up against anybody in the country. We have some of the greatest and finest people. We got some of the best minds in the game as well, and I think that carries over to what you see. But it's so much more, like you said, when a head coach has to do all these other things. Malakai, we're going to come over here to you, man. Let's get it. You're a Columbus guy.
Yes, sir.
Right? You're a born and raised city guy. And now I will share this, right? So even though this is probably not what everybody wants to hear, but me and you have a great connection. You don't know what it is, but I'm going to share it with you. We're both Pittsburgh Steelers fans, my friend. We are both Pittsburgh Steelers fans, my friend. And we get to have our own little moment here because I'm the host and I get to have fun, right? Even though we lost, I don't know when this show will air. We lost 2 tough ones the other night. That some team from Dallas, I don't even remember I don't know who they are, right? Exactly. That's the same thing I said to all my Dallas friends that was calling me. But so how do you become a Pittsburgh Steelers fan?
I mean, what really did it for me, I was a big Antonio Brown fan.
Okay.
Growing up.
Yeah.
And, him alone just, made me love the team because he was a dog.
Certainly, okay.
So I was a big Antonio Brown fan. Le'Veon Bell,
Le'Veon Bell, Columbus guy, Central Ohio guy.
Yeah,
Go for it.
So just, and then Big Ben, so them 3 alone just made me fall in love with that sport, with that team.
Let me ask you this, because you seem like, man, just in your interactions here this morning, you seem like a deep thinking type guy. Is there something for a young kid to learn? And we're not going to go deep into Antonio Brown's decisions, but is there something to learn from watching him on and off the field, the things that you see when you're a football player growing up? Is there something to learn from some of those pieces?
I mean, definitely. Honestly, just the way they play the game. I mean, you can really learn a lot of things from just watching people alone.
Okay.
I feel like I learned a lot of things just from watching things, especially like football-wise.
Yeah.
Watching how people play.
No doubt.
It just like I reflect that on me.
Okay.
And then, I'm almost type of dude. I learn better when I watch, like when I see things visually.
Okay.
So I feel like it's definitely a lot of things you can learn.
Yeah.
Off of.
So you shared with me in pre-show here. You're offensive lineman, defensive line guy.
Yes, sir.
So you're the backbone, right, of what goes on. Do you? I'm always a trenches guy. I loved it when I played and I was a kid. Man, coaches used to always talk about the Clydesdales. Yeah. You know what I mean? So big old horses, the guys that make the whole engine move. Do you feel that pressure? Is that a part of it there, playing for the land, playing for coach? Is that a part of it?
Oh, yes.
You started laughing. So come on, tell us a little bit about y'all. Got to give us some of the special sauce, man, the behind the curtain stuff.
I mean, yeah, it's just, like the trenches is always, it's a big part of the game. Especially me, my team relies on me a lot, especially up front. So, that definitely is a lot of pressure. But I mean, I understand though, because like they always say, it always starts up front. Yeah. We can't win games if we ain't doing our job up front. And I always live by that. So that's why, always.
Is that a pressure that you just have welcomed in your life? Is that something for you where you say, hey, I get it, man, and I understand there's a lot riding on not only my success, but the other 4 or 5 guys next to you?
Yeah, yes, sir, definitely. It definitely is. But like, I don't use it. Like when I say about pressure, it's not like, oh, I'm nervous or like it's just pressure that drives me to make sure I do what I'm supposed to do.
Nice.
Drives me to do better.
Okay. So give me this. Either one of you, I don't care who answers this one. What's a mid-season, because we're mid-season at this point, what's a mid-season Northland Vikings practice like? What's going on right now? Look, they smile and listen. Coach cannot do anything to you right now. So no matter what you say, he can't make you run extra sprints, nothing like that. You just get to have fun. What is a mid-season practice like, either one of you?
Well, it's mid-season now. It's offense. It's all offense. Now we're doing scrimmages now against each other. Even on our run-through days now, we're still fully padded, still doing team and all that like this now because we've been struggling a lot offensive-wise. Okay. So now
you've had some challenges, but I'm more interested in knowing is it always serious, or do you get to have any fun? Are you having any fun? You get to have a little bit of fun. Is there a little bit of fun going on right now?
We get to have fun sometimes.
It's sometimes. It's off and on, but like right now we can't really have as much fun. But we have our moments though.
Got your moments, Coach. Now I want to hear the coach response for it. Coach, where would you say you're now? So like you don't get to claim new coach, rookie, young stuff, or like all those things you got to say a few years ago, right? And you certainly were. You were handed an opportunity as an extremely young guy, young coach, but you got 5 years in the game now, right? So now, let me hear from you. What's a mid-season practice like? Where do you want? I'm not talking about on the field and what happens on game night. What do you want to be a part of? What you're teaching young people? What's going on in practice right now?
I think right now we're fixing the mistakes that can win us and lose us football games. Right.
Nice. Okay.
And that's kind of where we've transitioned to, and also holding kids accountable for what they're doing. Right. And I think that's a lot of the issues we've had, and we've had team meetings. That's a big thing. We sat down Saturday at team film, and we let the kids talk, right? Like, and we won 3-0, but it felt like we were in just an absolute dogfight, and we all felt like we lost that football game.
Wow, those are good wins. Then.
Yeah.
Anytime you can win on the scoreboard, but you feel like you lost, I'm here to share it with you because I'm a little bit older than you guys, a little bit older than Coach. Those are great wins. Right. Trust me, I've been there, and I've had moments where we've won games, and it was ugly, and I said, I still got a whole lot I can teach from this game.
And that's kind of what we're leaning into, right? And like teaching the kids, right? There's going to be times in life, right? Like it's going to be tough as nails for you to get through. You got to battle through this adversity, but also enjoy it, right? Yeah. Enjoy your wins and stuff. And I think that I think it's funny because I tell these guys all the time is, winning is fun. That's the only thing that's fun. And everybody's like, you want to have fun. And I'm like, they kind of know after the way I talk is you don't have fun losing. Like if I don't know any person that's been a part of a sport that you're keeping score of the game, and when you lose, you had fun. Right? So like for us, ours is like we have to win football games, right? Like, and that was like our mentality, like coming in here, and they changed that for us here at Northland. And now like, it was funny this past week, and I told these guys that it's like the expectation's way higher for you guys. Right. I have people in the school, right, teachers in the school, like, Coach, what's going on with the football team? Right. Like, we're 4-3. Like, we have a winning record. 100%. And people are looking at us like, what is going on, man? That's right. You guys haven't scored points. You guys haven't done this, that. And, we lost a lot of seniors, but that's not an excuse, right? Like, we still have a standard here at Northland that 100%, we have an expectation that these guys got to meet. And I love how it's transitioned, right, at Northland in my 5 years. Because
that wasn't always the talk, per se, right?
We were 0-5 my second year to start to see. We were just talking about that on the way here laughing. Yeah. Like, we were 0-5 at one point, and we didn't feel as bad as kind of right now where we're 4-3, but we know we can be so much better. Yeah. And we know our expectation. And I think right now for us, like we're finding ways to get that back out of our kids, right? To get the motivation back out of them to, want to be at football. Yesterday, we did have fun yesterday, right? JV gets to go to Centennial. So varsity just has film with Coach Sayers, and usually we go out and we do a stretch run. Then we make sure that we do offensive run through, defensive align sign period, just to get varsity guys rolling for the week. Yesterday we hit golf balls, and so we took the kids out there.
Could any of them hit? Because I noticed in production notes you're a golfing guy. You like to get down a little bit, right?
That's my thing.
Could any of them get some hits going? No.
We had one guy hit the bag yesterday. Only one guy, and who was that? Raheem Hill, or no? It was Mahari Bowles and his partner. I forget who his partner was. Hey, Raheem Hill. It was Raheem Hill.
So let me share with you. Don't feel bad. My first time really even getting exposed to golfing was in college.
Yeah.
I wish my high school coach would have done it for me. I remember our basketball coach, as a matter of fact, man, we went out, he said we were going to go out here. We went to the range.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably took me a half an hour before I made solid contact. On my first one, I'm going, this is crazy, right? So you would think it's pretty easy. It's good to hear that you have that built in. But you said something a moment ago. You used the word accountability.
Yep.
Right? Tyreek, I'm going to start with you. What does accountability mean to you when you hear a coach say that, whether in life or in football? I want to know what it means to you.
Honestly, it means everything to me. I apply it to like just normal things and holding like my teammates accountable, or just my teammates holding me accountable when I mess up. It's really big for me. It doesn't necessarily make me bad, but it makes me realize like I need to get this right. I need to fix this. And then when I hold my teammate accountable, they understand, and we like come together as a unit and just fix our issues, and we come out and play better, or like in life we do better.
Okay. Malakai, I'm gonna turn to you, man. Accountability. When you hear a coach say that, what resonated with you? What did you hear when you heard those words?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is just be a man, just own up for what you did. You know, like I said, I use that for football, also life. You know, I feel like just you need to take accountability of what you did. So, you know, like I said, life and football, except for trying to blame everybody for your mistakes, you just man up and just own up for what you did and do whatever it takes to change and fix what you've done.
Certainly. I love that because, Coach, where do you get that from? That's an old school. What your players just shared is an old school mentality. Who's been your coaching influences? Because I don't know that I hear a lot of young coaches. I hear a lot of people say accountability. That's why I was curious to hear what your players were going to say. Because what I've learned in life is that people use a lot of catchwords. Yeah. And I'm not saying you were doing that. That's why when you mentioned it, I wanted to hear how they resonated with it. Where do you get that from? Where's kind of your coaching energy come from? Or your maybe even some of the people you've watched as coaching?
I think for me, right, like I learned a lot under Coach Hillerich, right, like just learning how to run a program. Okay. I think the accountability piece for me, though, really stems from my high school coach, man, Phil Anarella.
Say his name again. You said it too fast for me.
Phil Anarella.
Phil Anarella from Youngstown.
Now, and so he's just been.
That's a classical Youngstown coach's name. That's beautiful. That's why I actually
he's a Hall of Fame. So,
nice. Yes,
yeah, he's a great guy. He just got in the Hall of Fame previously. At one point, my dad was married to his daughter at one point, but then they got divorced. So he was my grandpa for a second.
So you know him. Good guy.
We got super close. Yeah. But, you know, for him, like, he was old school cat, right? Yeah. Like, he won the state championship at Warren G. Harding in 1990. So, like, and he was old for us. We called him grandpa at football, like all the guys did.
Old in the 90s.
Yeah, and so for him, like, his mentality, right, like, was just hold each other accountable, right? Yeah. And I'll never forget the statement that he always told us, right? Like, is character's what you do when no one else is looking, 100%, right? And I think that's the accountability piece that we pass on to the players is we can't always be there in the locker room. I can't always be there watching you guys, you know, in the locker room, in the hallway, out at the field. I can't always be there, right? But you guys can always be there for each other.
Certainly.
And so that means that when you see a guy in the hallway, what do we give them?
Push-ups.
Push-ups. You late to class. You don't have a pass in the hallway.
Yeah.
And you can't even tell me if the teacher don't give you a pass, what are you supposed to do? Make them give you a pass. Because if you're in the hallway or you're doing the wrong things that way, right, and you can't hold a teammate accountable, right? Yeah. And our guys, like, I love our guys because if a kid don't do a push-up for them in the hallway, they're gonna come find me like, hey, they owe down, coach. Like we
snitching.
And, you know, it's
we are holding each other accountable. Like so when you say it, and the reason why the word jumped out, I mean, we'll get to classroom hallway stuff in 1 second. Right. The piece that I also like to hear, especially when I hear accountable, is when individuals hold themselves accountable. Right. Do the part that you're responsible for, right? Yeah. Because I think it's easy sometimes, and I'm not taking away from it, but I think it's easy sometimes to hold another accountable. Right. But if you're not also doing those same things, then you can't be a leader. I heard you mention earlier you're a captain. Yes, right? Mm-hmm. So it's hard. You can't be a captain if you're not also leading, right? That comes with a lot of responsibility. I'll share as a tickle note, and for my players that are listening right now that watch the show and hear from when I was coaching high school basketball, what we used to do was, if a guy was late to class, we made everybody else on the team run. Oh, yeah. We made that guy stand and watch his teammates run. So for every minute you were late, teacher said you was tardy, you was late, we added them all up. So if you 3 guys were late, we took you 3 guys, we stood you on the sideline in the gym, and we made the team run for you. Yep. And you know what started happening was then they started holding each other accountable, because when they saw Tyreek, let's say, in the hallway, and Tyreek is always late, then they said, oh, look, we're going to fix this. So on their own, this is what our guys done. On their own, they found out what Tyreek had, let's say, period 2. And them guys raced out of their period 2, saw Tyreek and said, come on, man, we getting you to third period because we're not running for you anymore. You keep being late to third period. We're going to get you there, then we're going to get ourselves there, right? So I love that energy. That's an old school thought process, right? Yeah. And so these guys have been with you for 4 years. So Malakai, we'll start with you, then we'll go to Tyreek. Share with me now, from freshman to here you are as a senior, class of 25, what's your journey been like at the land, the program, being a part of it? What's your journey been?
The journey's been a lot. Freshman year, I actually didn't get to play.
Okay.
I fractured my ankle the first week I came to practice. So you
set out basically the whole season.
Yeah, I sat, like, I didn't get to play the scrimmage. I got hurt during practice, so I didn't get to play freshman year, and then I came back.
Y'all dudes look good too, man. Y'all must have really had a good spring in the weight room and stuff. Y'all look good.
Yes, Built by Bake.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. I love
Coach
it. Okay.
Bake.
Yeah.
Built by Bake.
Okay.
It was definitely. And then, off of that injury, I came back, and that's like during the winter when we started lifting. And, my first year, my first official year actually playing, it was fun. I say I wasn't really as close with Coach Sayers yet. I was mostly just close with my coach, Coach Cunningham. Yeah. At the time. So, sophomore year, it was pretty good. Just trying to ease in, trying to get the feel for the game and the program. Junior year, it was way better. I started building a connection with all the coaches. I became, I was the second captain of the team my junior year. And that was nice. It was definitely a kickstart. I got close. Like I said, me and Coach Sayers started getting closer.
Yeah, you sitting here today.
Yeah.
So now here you are, your senior year, right?
Yes, sir.
So you've seen the energy change. You're a full product of Coach Sayers' program, right? Because but at the same time, and this is what I share with new coaches, and this is not a knock, right? But what I think sometimes as young people, you maybe don't even know what's happening, but as you're growing and learning, so is Coach. Yep. Coach is growing and learning also, right? And so now, Tyreek, I want to come to you also, then we'll circle back to where you're at. I don't want you to lose that thought. So Tyreek, you've been with him, Coach, 4 years. Yes. Your first phone call is him in Florida on vacation. You on the phone, hey, man, what's up, Coach? I'm Coach. You only know each other. And then before you know it, right here you are a couple years later. What's the journey been like for you?
The journey, honestly, I had a lot of ups and downs. My freshman year, I wasn't able to play for half the season. I had a stress fracture. Okay. And then sophomore year, it was really good, but I definitely had my ups and downs because at first I was playing linebacker, and I was in love with that position.
You was or was not?
I was.
You was in love, okay.
And then he moved me to D-end in like 3 weeks before the first game, and I didn't like that, and I was throwing my fits, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Yeah. And then first game comes, and
blossomed. You just exploded out there, huh?
It was backwards.
Backwards. The other way.
Oh, okay. You had some challenges.
Yeah, I went through my challenges. I was getting bullied. I was going against a 3-star tackle. Okay. I forgot his name, but after.
Either way, you had a challenge the first time out, but you've grown into the position now?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I've grown a lot into the position. I came out my sophomore year. That off season, I took it personal because I just didn't like my performance at my sophomore season. My junior season, I took it personal, then came out and did what I had to.
Let me share this real quick for all young people out there that are listening, parents that are listening. You shared on something that I think is really important, especially in football. It happens more in football, sometimes in track. We had a guy on the show, he was talking about how the coach asked him in track to go from doing the 1 and the 2 to the 2 and the 4 on the sprints, which is a big difference. Right? 100-yard and 200-yard is a much different process than preparing for a 200 and a 400 day, right? And I share with parents and kids, trust your coach. Right. Trust your coach, trust your coach, trust your coach. We're in this day and age, man, where parents, I'm not saying you don't know everything, but parents, you don't know everything, right? And it's okay to not know everything, right? I'm a parent of a teenager. I'm a parent of a child in college. Sometimes you parents, you got to pull back a little bit, even with all of your own experiences. And as players, trust your coach, right? And I hear that come up in that piece there where you're talking about maybe changing position, but coach had a vision and saw something maybe that you didn't see at the time, right? That's the beauty of what we do.
With that being said, though, our parents are awesome, though, man.
Oh, I didn't mean that.
I'm just saying, though, our parents at Northland, man, have really bought into what we do, and I think they've seen that transition, right?
Yeah.
There's no parents now that, like, say anything or yell in the stands no more like they used to, and that's where I think, like, our parents, that's why we have such a good culture at Northland, is the parents support our coaching staff.
Beautiful.
And it's great.
And then that's built in by you all as leaders.
Well, we do coffee with the coaches on Saturday. You got any questions about film?
Up and you can
come on, watch film with us.
That's beautiful. I like to hear it. So that speaks to the top down, from Dr. Johnson to Mr. Bowles to yourself as a coach, as leaders. You build that culture. That's beautiful to hear, right? I say that because I think that's great. I didn't mean Northland parents.
Yeah, no. I was just
Northland parents. I love you too.
Yeah, right? I just had to make it known.
But I say that because we have so many listeners.
Oh yeah. And people will stop me, and I like parents to hear. Trust your coach. Believe in what they're doing. Get behind the program. They're going to challenge your child to maybe do some things that they're uncomfortable with, but that's a part of growth. Oh yeah,
right. That's a part of growth.
It wasn't always like this at Northland, though.
That's what
my first 2 years, it was definitely what you're saying. Yeah, they got to trust us.
So, Coach, we sit here today before I sound off with the guys because I told you it goes by fast.
Oh yeah.
Coach, you're here now, year 5.
Yeah.
What's your vision for Northland's program moving forward? What do you see, and what do you want? What's your stamp on the legacy of Northland football here?
These guys know what my stamp is, right? What's the number one thing we have to get at Northland? The number one thing that's never happened.
First round.
Put them on the spot.
First round what?
First round.
Playoff win. We've never won a playoff game at Northland High School.
All right.
Not since '65. Never won one before.
Wow. Okay.
If you go back and look at all the records, we've never won one. We've always lost the first round playoff game. I think that's a huge piece for our program, for our school, right? And then, like, even me personally, right? Like, I feel like we've done some great things at Northland.
Yeah.
And to still not have the playoff win when we've had so much talent and we've had the success we have, that's the one thing that lingers over us as a coaching staff, right?
Oh, wow.
And my coaching staff's awesome, great guys, right? Like, we have the best of the best. I can tell you, I can firmly say we have the best coaching staff.
Yeah.
And we have a vision for Northland of, continuing our success in the City League, but also winning games outside the City League is huge for us, right? Like, we want to be able to compete with everybody.
100%.
And when we get into the playoffs, that's our goal, right? Like, is to be able to compete in the playoffs, even if you're D2 Region 7.
Yep.
One of the toughest divisions in the entire country, not just the state.
Indeed. That's
the entire country we're in is, you got to get through Massillon. You already know what it is. And these guys do too. And so for us, that's our goal, is to be able to be competitive in that realm of the playoffs, right? Like, we want to win these playoff games, and that's like our stamp, man. Like, and these guys know it, and we won the City League back-to-back years, right? We won it outright one year. We tied it the year before. We got a chance this year. We got to keep winning out and see if some things happen, right? But at the same time, we have that goal, and I think that's our number one goal there, right? And then also just continue to build it, man. We've had over 50, 60 kids on the roster, right? We played 10 JV games this year.
Wow.
And we're probably the only team that's really doing that right now, is playing 10 full JV games.
Certainly.
Every single week we're playing, and our kids know, like, Monday, Saturday, it doesn't matter what day it is, we come ready to play.
And making it work.
Yeah, so that's our goal.
It's beautiful what you're building. We're lucky. Columbus City League is lucky to have you. I've been watching you. You know what I mean? I think it's phenomenal what you all are doing. I love the energy of the land. You know what I mean?
We love it.
I say, hey, like, you hear it from Cleveland, and then you also hear it, and then I love also because something you all didn't mention today was King of the North, which I think was a very cool moniker a couple years ago. And that was certainly a show that my family was watching home. We was glued in week after week watching. So we sign off on here. Coach, I'm going to give you the last word, but I'm going to let these young guys speak first. Yeah. We'll start with you, Tyreek. What is it you want everybody to know, man? What didn't I bring up? What do you want to say? Shout out, whatever's on your mind, man. The mic. Ooh, you went too deep. Hey, so my radio listeners, he grabbed his chin. This is stuff you can't write like in real life.
That's him. He's trying to think of a poem right now, I bet.
I love, and you actually, you put that in your production notes, man. You're a poet. You like to say some words.
Dog, too.
If a poem comes to your mind, man, the floor is yours. Or if not, you can just speak to the poetry piece.
I don't got a poetry piece to say, but if anything, like as a inspiration, players, when everything gets hard, just bite down and just work through it. Like no matter what, have adversity, like in situations when it's tough. That's one thing our defense stands on. Yeah. We've been in so many situations where they're on the 1 yard line. Last week, actually, Centennial, they were on 1 yard line to win the game. We ended up getting a fumble, and we got the ball back to win the game.
Wow.
It's just grit and adversity.
I like that. Those are good
we talk about right there.
What you got over here, young man? Come on, deep voice. Give us you got a deep laugh. You got a deep voice. You got a good personality about you, man. Did y'all already have homecoming?
This week, baby. Yep.
Y'all going to the dance?
Yes, sir.
Y'all ready to rock and roll, ain't you? Hey, I can just look the smile.
See their hair's out. You know they're gonna get their hair done here soon.
Yeah, they gonna get all trimmed up, man, polished and ready to go. You guys are good-looking young men, football players, but you got an old soul. Do people tell you that you got an old soul? Has anybody ever said that to you?
Nah, people just say I look grown.
Some guys call you Unc, though. I've heard that before. Don't lie. They call you Unc.
That's not an old soul, though.
But no, because I know some guys that look old and act really young.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got an older look, but you also you got an old soul energy about you. What kind of music do you listen to?
I mean, rap.
Do you?
Rap, R&B.
So you don't listen to none of the classics?
I mean, I listen to some 90s off and on. It really just depends how I'm feeling. In the mood I am.
Get some 90s
Get some
going,
soul music in there from my guy.
Get some 90s going on your playlist. What you got for us, man? What you want to share with us? And you can't say anything about the Steelers; they'll get mad at it. That's just our thing.
Yeah, especially he a Browns fan. You know
I'm glad you put that out there.
Yeah,
that gives me another person to hunt down.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it to us.
You sharing that, man. Yes,
definitely.
Indeed. I certainly appreciate that. You close enough to. I thought Youngstown guys were either San Francisco or Pittsburgh.
So, yep. I'm surprised. Hey.
I do my homework,
you know your stuff.
Yeah, I do my homework, man.
Yep, the Bartlow,
I thought you were San Francisco or Pittsburgh guys in Youngstown.
I really feel like it's Cleveland or Pittsburgh. San Fran's kind of faded away. You don't see it a lot there no more.
Okay,
yep.
So the old school folks.
Yeah, the old school folks kind of. It's Cleveland or Pittsburgh.
San Francisco guys.
Yep.
Gotcha.
That's the old school side of town, right? Yeah. That's like Cantfield and the little richer side of town. Cats.
Okay. I didn't know that. When I was at Duquesne, man, we had a number of Youngstown folks, and they were all San Francisco guys.
Oh yeah.
And one of my good buddies was from Youngstown.
Yep.
That I went to when I was in school. And Ronnie, if you out there, man, if you ever catch the show, he would always talk about San Francisco.
Yep.
And I remember talking to him one day, and I'm like, you from Youngstown. What you do? San Francisco's all the way on the other side of the planet, right? So I got you. You're a Browns guy. So what you got for us? Arms crossed and everything. What happens just now? Yeah.
Real dog.
Got deep on me.
Honestly, just keep working. You know, any young athletes out there who strives to, hopefully play football in college or, try to make it big one day like me. Honestly, just keep working, despite all the setbacks you could go through. Honestly, you just got to push through it all and just keep working. You can't let none of those things hold you back from being great. And that's just one of the things I also live by, despite all the things I went through, I always make sure I come back the next day or the next year or whatever the case may be, just stronger and better.
Yeah.
Every time. So, just keep pushing, stay disciplined, like I said, and just keep growing as an athlete and also as a human being. Because even though football is a sport, it's more than football. Football is life.
Coach, let me share this with you, man. We've probably done 75 shows, and I love all of them. We've had a lot of young people on here. If these two young guys are the example of what's going on at Northland High School, you all are in great shape. You've chosen two fine young people to come here, represent your team today. These young guys almost like we wrote a script. They're saying a lot of the right stuff.
Yeah.
Great energy from them. Coach, sound off on for us, man. Now, I'm gonna say one piece in production notes. If you don't bring this up, I'm gonna say it to keep you out of trouble. Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, I understand your wife is pregnant.
Yes, sir.
Child number 2 on the way.
On the way. Yes, sir.
And what's the range? What's the kind of the date here?
December 30th. We're coming 30th. Quick, right after the season.
Bing, bing, bing,
Yep.
right? So hey, I'm a January baby.
My first son is. So Xavier's January 14th.
Great. I love that. But I share that for you because obviously, as you know, right, shout out to all the families out there, the wives, everybody that's in the family of a person who's a coach.
Yes.
When you become a coach, right, you become an extension of everyone else's family, and you also have your own family.
Yes.
And so your own family has to give a lot of themselves to allow you to be the special person that you get to be.
Right.
So I'm sharing that just in case.
She's an all-star.
Yes, indeed.
Look, my wife changed her whole life, right? And she does an in-home daycare for us, right? She's at home with our kids. She lets me be with these guys all the time, right? Like, and she encourages us. She loves football. My little son comes around every Saturday, right? Like he was at the school yesterday with me, walking through the halls. So he loves it. And she's an all-star. She's battling through it. She's going through a lot more than I got to go through.
Yeah.
And we're lucky, right? Like we're blessed. Last year we experienced a miscarriage at this time, right? At the end of the season. So we're super blessed to be in the spot that we're in, right? Like, and I just have juice about it. I love it. I'm excited for another boy coming, right? So 2 boys. We're gonna be outnumbering mom in the household.
100%. I get it.
So we're excited.
Moms rule the roost no matter what, right?
She's queen, right? She runs it.
Yeah. So I wanted to share that part, but you go ahead and share whatever you want to share.
I appreciate everybody just listening, right? Like, and we're excited about the land, right? And just to always, I think people get things mixed up, right? Like outside of here and stuff, like with what we're doing, we just love what we're doing at Northland, right? And to continue, and this is me talking to just people, is continue to water the grass where your feet is, right? And love the spot that you're at, right? And your job that you have is the best job, right? And look at your job, right? Like, and perspective drives performance, right? Like, and that's kind of how I look at everything with these guys. Is our perspective about how our job is how you're going to do your job, right? If you love your job, if you love what you do, and you feel blessed about what you do, then you're going to come out with products like this, right? Like, and guys that have really bought into your system, right? And it's funny for me to sit here and listen. All those words is stuff that I feel like our coaching staff has been saying to them for 4 years, and it's like, and he's like, it's life now. It's ingrained in us, right? Like,
that's good stuff.
And that's what I love to hear for them, because they've done that, right? At Northland, 100%. these guys could go start.
Bought in for.
They could start at any program in the nation.
Yeah, they bought in for you, man.
But they've stayed at Northland,
they've excelled 100%.
right? And they've chose to. And those guys last year did that. Like, they've watered the grass at Northland. They've built it to something to where now these guys say it. That's not what we do here. This is what we do here, because it's a different standard. And, they just watered the grass where their feet was.
I'm going to stop because I like that. We're right. And we're going to sound off on that one. Water the grass where your feet are at.
Yes, sir.
Right? Accountability. We had the land in the house. You guys have been amazing. I got to do an outro. I got to get us out of here. Right?
Perfect.
Our time has ended, but I love the way you shared that. I shared something similar, but I'm going to leave on that note because I love it. So this part right here, I got to say all the stuff that makes us work, right? All our listeners, we appreciate you. Guests, you all have been amazing. Phenomenal group here today. Much respect to you. Be sure to catch all our future episodes on WCBE 90.5. Catch us on Spotify, Apple, the platform where you listen to your favorite podcast. And for you folks out there that are IG folks, follow us on Instagram, City League Sports 614. I'm your host, Dr. Vince Clarino. We had the land in the house. This is City League Sports.